what I really wanted. But looking back, I can see it's all clear. I'm still a kid trying to act like they all taught me, but nothing makes sense anymore.
So just a couple of rules. We do ask that you don't bring any food or beverages in. That does include things like gum. So if anyone happens to be chewing gum, there's a garbage can here in the corner. You can get rid of that in. Beyond that, once we are inside the cave, I will ask that you stay on the paved trails and pathways. Trails down here, because we could be stepping on the formations and damaging them. So keep that in mind. Beyond.
You hold on to the rails. Hands in. You don't be touching the rocks.
It's funny how you know exactly which kids to tell, eh?
Hey, Eli, do you need a partner in there? Or do you want to go with Eli? Sure. Eli, get your coat out, please.
Well, we're not going to see much down here on camera. If you wanted to go in front of us, you're more than welcome to. We might be a bit slow.
It turned around, he wasn't here.
So coming inside here and actually looking around a little bit, you're getting an idea of what our cave can be like. Surrounding us is all this rock, which makes sense since we are now in our cave. Does anyone know what kind of rock is in Mystery Cave by chance?
I'm guessing limestone.
Yeah, this is limestone rock here. Limestone's a very common rock to find caves in. And that's because limestone is very unique. It's actually a lot like your teeth. It can get cavities in it, like what our teeth can get. Unlike us who can go to a dentist and get cavities fixed, there's no dentist for our limestone. So these can get really big and out of control. We are in one of these cavities here in our limestone. It's like a 13-mile long cavity, so it's a really big cavity here. And what causes cavities to form in our rock, of all things, is actually water. And when we have so many cracks and holes in our rock here in this area, it's making it very easy then for our water to get into the ground and be interacting with the rock that is here, all of this limestone rock. And so then where the water is going underground, it likes to be making cavities. And here in the subsurface, it's making cavities in the form of caves. At the surface, we can have cavities form in our rock as well. And those are things like sinkholes. And here in Fillmore County alone, we have over 10,000 sinkholes and over 200 caves. So lots of cavities have been forming here.
That's cool. Look at the little channel.
Yeah.
Somebody crawled through there and put lights in. It's going down.
I got you, buddy. I got you.
You want me to take your hand?
I got him.
I'm watching him. Somebody crawled. Papa, what is this?
Oh, there's another tour. That's
What is this?
You ran off of them.
cool.
So throughout Mystery Cave here, we are going to see a lot of formations. One of the more common formations we will see is like this one right here on our wall. This is a formation called flowstone. It's a very common formation. So
That mud?
it looks like mud, doesn't it? But it's not. This is actually rock that has gotten left behind down here from rainwater that comes in. And over time, as that rainwater comes in and flows over our walls here, it leaves that rock behind to make our flowstone here. So the rainwater that comes into our cave, it's actually a lot like that river water. It too likes to be making cavities in our rock. But with rainwater, oftentimes this is just going to happen up at the surface and make cavities like sinkholes up at our surface. As that water is moving further into the ground and getting into places like our cave, it isn't able to actually make cavities down here.
What'd you say?
Feels like hard chocolate.
Hard chocolate.
It looks like it too.
Thing if you didn't. Camera doesn't obviously give it justice.
Looks like oxygen or carbon or something.
Oh yeah, yeah. This is a tiny little crevice that we're supposed to walk through. I can't see very well.
You don't want the light?
No.
It's a pretty fun tour.
No, the light just happened.
So the passageway we are about to head into, it will get a lot shorter to the point where many of you are going to have to watch your heads. And if you're my height or taller, that's going to be who needs to watch their heads. So I'm 5'6" for reference, so anyone taller than me, make sure you're ducking and watching your head so that you don't bump your head. It's no fun to hit your head down here, let me tell you. I've done it a couple times.
I never thought that my shortness would come in handy.
Then you have those high heels on. Okay. So coming into this room and looking around, you may be noticing some familiar formations, but you also might notice that in our ceiling, there are some holes. The large ones are what are really noticeable, but if you look around, you'll notice that there are actually some small ones here as well. These holes in our ceiling, small or large, are what we like to call solutional domes. And these form not from the rainwater that comes in today,
Basically
but from the
closed
water
it
that
up.
comes flowing through here. So when our river would flow through these passageways, there were many times when that water would completely fill these passageways to the ceiling with water. And when you have that much water in a space, it's looking for anywhere it can go. So the water then is getting into any little crack and hole here in our rock, and it dissolves away those cracks just like the rest of the cave. And so oftentimes what we'll see are just these smaller little solutional domes. We have many of these along our ceiling up ahead in the passageway. But we do occasionally get larger ones like this. This oftentimes is going to happen in areas where you have lots of intersecting cracks that can help create the larger hole here in the ceiling. Now we have the same thing that can happen in our walls as well down here. So in our walls, the holes that we get, we like to call pockets. So this is a good example of one up here and some of our pools like this one here. And that river water didn't show up here. There's no dye that showed up. So that is telling us that it's not our river water showing up here in the cave. So we must have some groundwater that's above us that this here is, it happens to pick up in this area, so we're using it in here. So, what are the differences? Like spring water? No, not necessarily a spring. Bony clusters. These are a formation called bostrioids. There's time for our calcite, that's the mineral that actually makes up limestone. There's time for our calcite to actually develop nicer crystals. And with calcite, it likes to form these oftentimes. Yes, yep. And this formed on, actually, most of this that we are walking through here, that's below the flowstone that's here, this is loose sediment that they dug out. So our river,
Let's see.
up at the surface, can make deposits.
Looks like
So it did make some deposits.
A lacquered countertop,
yeah,
yeah.
or epoxy.
Yeah. Of course, we can't see that on the video very well, but that's.
Oh, there they go.
Oh, there they go. Quick.
It is shady. It's
Sure, like epoxy flooring or a countertop or something, eh?
It's just crazy how it's just like
So we use the existing trailer here, and a lot of our electricity is running right under the tunnel. You guys are certainly able to go down and look at the pool that we have down here, so certainly feel free to. It does kind of look like it'd be a nice little fish cooler pond. No fish in there though. Because of our colder temperatures, we actually lack a lot of biodiversity here at History Cave.
If you had swim in there, then you'd be able to see the ball.
Yeah.
Except I won't go swimming because you might get bitten off.
So you wouldn't actually want to go swimming in this water. It is 48-degree water. So if you've been touching the handrails down here and thinking the handrails are cold, that's how cold the water is. Or if anyone here has dipped their toes into like Lake Superior at all, it's about that cold. Maybe a little warmer than Lake Superior.
Okay, sorry for the glare. This is where we was today. We went in here, this cave entrance, and way over here is another cave entrance. That's 13 miles, I think she said, apart. So in between, I think it goes all over the place. There's all sorts of farm fields. Right, we've got houses and farms and buildings all over the place here. And underneath the ground, this is what it looks like underneath. So again, we went in here, and we only traveled this little portion here today. That's it.
She said this spot right here was, I think this is where we ended up down here, and it was 100.
No, the turquoise lake is right here.
Okay, and that was 135 feet below. Right there.
But you can go all the way through and make your way all the way out. So underneath all those farms and everything that's going on, that's what's underneath. It's kind of wild to
That is, that's quite a perspective.
think about it. Yeah, very neat. It's an enjoyable trip. Enjoyed it here. It's talking here too about sinkholes. So you get lots of sinkholes in the ground, and farmers will just leave trees growing. So that doesn't mean every single one of these is a sinkhole, but it's possibly a sinkhole in the middle of the field, which would lead you down to part of the cave system.
Down here. Down here.
Pretty neat. I enjoyed that. It was well worth the trip over again. Okay, we're back in the motorhome driving again through lovely Minnesota. I believe we're still in Minnesota. So that was a great little time. We really enjoyed that, going to the caves. I know the kids really are into the rocks, and even on the island we were always picking up little pieces of rock and stuff and looking at them, so it was kind of neat. I mean, the colors were all the same. It's sandstone throughout the whole thing, but to see the formations and the hollowed out nature of the rock was really cool. There was a fossil on the roof as well. Left over from Noah's flood, I guess, because there's no other way for it to get there. So, or the flood in Noah's day. I guess it wasn't his flood. But anyway, all in all, it's a really wonderful experience. Really enjoyed it. So, highly recommend family outing, going to some caves. Doesn't have to be this one. Could be anywhere. We are carrying on our travels. Not sure what little town we're in here now, but we'll catch you all in the next video. God bless you.
I've been running most of my life, blowing smoke everywhere around. I've been searching, but I can't seem to find someone that can hold me through the night. words of a lullaby.